How-to videos, back at you with another video. I wanted to do a quick video on branded titles and what they mean. So let's get right into this video. So branded titles, so this is something you want to look out before you actually buy. So when you go to the auction, like I said in other videos, it gets very overwhelming, especially if you're a brand new car dealer and you've never attended an in-person auction. There's not going to be anybody there holding your hand unless you have a friend that's already in the industry, and they're going to show you exactly, basically show you the ropes and take you to your first auction. But some of the things to look out before you actually buy and bid on vehicles is branded titles. So some of the different common titles, brands used by most states, and remember, it varies from state to state, but most states typically have titles such as damaged, they have dismantled titles, gray market, junk, lemon buyback, they have prior police car title, prior taxi, rebuilt title, reconditioned, remanufactured, replica title, revived junk, revived salvage, salvage, scrap vehicle, totaled, warranty return, and water damage. So I'm not going to go in depth on each and every single one, but I am going to go cover some of the more common ones that you see. So this is very important because this is actually going to dictate whether or not you have a good sale value when you go to sell your vehicles back to the public. Because remember, your job as a dealer is to get the price for the lowest point possible. Because remember, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. Same thing like real estate, you make your money when you buy. So like if you're going out to buy a house or buying a car, you're going to make your money by getting the best price possible. So a lot of people think that they make the money like, oh, I sold it for X amount of dollars. No, you really made the money when you bought it for a low price. So let's go ahead and see what the first one is. So where would you actually find the branded title? So this is a California, just a copy right there in the top right-hand corner where you see the red box is where you would see the branded title. So a brand is a wording on a California certificate of title or registration card that indicates certain conditions in the vehicle's history. While most states put history brands somewhere on their titles, the wording varies from state to state. So this is actually a clip of what a California title is. And so right there at the top, you would see what type of brand. And if it's a salvage title or a lemon buyback or whatever title you have, that's where you can find it. So what conditions require brands? So let's kind of dive a little deeper into that. So basically a salvage title, that means vehicles are marked with a salvage brand where they were involved in an accident or incurred considerable damage from another source, such as flood or vandalism. Flood happens a lot out on the East Coast, out in the South, where they have a lot of, tornadoes and rainstorms. And this also includes brands, include previously dismantled junk vehicles. Some of the other titles that you might see is original taxi or prior taxi vehicles, formerly used for hire and which actually have a lot of mileage. So a lot of those retired, taxi vehicles, or even now, a lot of retired some of those Toro vehicles are having high mileage, but especially taxis. So that would be a possible branding. And then original police or prior vehicles. I know some people that actually specialize in those retired police vehicles, and you'll see them out on the road all the time, and you're driving and you're like driving all, following the speed limit and, putting your left turn blinker on, your right turn blinker on, because you're, freaking out thinking it's a cop behind you. Especially at nighttime and in the dark and you can't really see. And then all of a sudden the car pulls up next to you and it's like some 18-year-old high school kid, goofing off, and it's, it's just a retired police vehicle. So those are some of the more typical titles that you might see, especially at auctions. And like I said, I have some dealer friends that actually focus on those retired police vehicles, and they sell well. They do well. So what conditions require brands? So basically non-USA vehicles manufactured for sale and use outside the United States that have been converted to meet federal and California safety and emission standards. That would be require a brand. Warranty return or lemon law buyback. So vehicles which have been returned to the manufacturer under California's lemon law. And then remanufactured. a licensed remanufacturer that constructs vehicles consisting of used or reconditioned parts. These vehicles may be sold under a distinctive trade name. So those are some of the conditions that require a brand. So these are the more typical ones that you see often as salvage and total loss. So basically, what's the difference between a salvage title and a total loss title? So obtaining a salvage title. So basically, a salvage title vehicle is one that's been deemed a total loss. Sometimes owners opt to junk the vehicle. Other times they decide to repair the vehicle and obtain a salvage title to register and operate or sell the vehicle. And I see this happen a lot. I know my brother, a few years back, he had a 2004 Audi, and he got in an accident. The car insurance company deemed it a salvage title, and they cut him a check. But I don't know, he was somehow able to finagle, and he talked them into also giving him the car as well, on top of the check that they gave him for, the Kelley Blue Book value of his vehicle at the time. And then he was able to sell it to a potential buyer. He actually obviously disclosed that it was a salvage title, but he got a little bit an extra. I think he sold it for like $800 or something like that. But he also got the check from the insurance company, so he was able to make an extra $800 by somehow finagling and talking to his insurance company to say, hey, just give me the car, and I'll keep the car. And then they wrote him the check, and then he was able to sell that vehicle as a salvage title and got like an extra $800 on top of the insurance check that he got for Kelley Blue Book value. So that's the obtaining the salvage title. So what's the difference between a salvage and a total loss title? So what does total loss mean? Car insurance companies label a vehicle a total loss when the cost to repair the vehicle to its pre-damaged state exceeds the cost of the vehicle's worth or actual cash value. So my parents were recently in a small little fender bender. They had a 2003 Toyota Corolla that was in great shape. It only had 83,000 miles, even though it was a 2003, just because they don't drive a lot. They're retired. And the damage was not that bad, but the collision, company that the insurance company took it to, they determined that it was going to cost more money to cosmetically repair the vehicle than it would be to cut them a check. And so they cut my parents. Actually, they got a pretty good amount. They got $6,900, so almost $7,000 for a 2003 Toyota Corolla, which I thought was really good a price, especially coming from an insurance company. Typically, they always try to lowball you and give you a low price, but I felt that was a pretty good. And I told my parents to say, "Hey, take it. It's good." But on the other end, the car was in such great shape that even though they got a check for $6,900, they would have rather kept that 2003. So, I mean, they wish that they never gotten that car accident, because the 2003 Toyota Corolla was in such great shape and had very low mileage, and it was completely paid off for years. So they had no car payment. So now they want to get into a newer vehicle because they have to, because the car that they were driving has, been considered a total loss, and they got that $6,900 check. But now they're going to go out and buy a 2020 or 2021 vehicle, which, is going to run anywhere from, $28,000 to $32,000, because they want a newer SUV. And now they're going to have to get back into monthly car payments, which is a drag. They're retired, they're on a fixed income, and it's better to have that car that was paid off than it is to jump into a new car and having to start making car payments again. So, but that's basically what a total loss is. It's when the car insurance companies label a vehicle when the cost to repair the vehicle is more expensive than just cutting them a check. So what's the difference between a salvage and total loss? So determining whether a vehicle is a total loss depends on several factors, such as the car insurance company. Although companies must follow certain state laws, they also can set their own standards for total vehicles. The vehicle's specific condition, they want to know whether the vehicle can be repaired safely, and will it cost more to repair the vehicle than what the vehicle's worth. Adjusters, the insurance adjusters will, obviously take those into consideration and make that determination. And then individual state laws, Basically, often this means the vehicle must suffer a specific percentage of damage before it can be deemed a total loss. So the insurance companies have, adjusters that are, got algorithms and computers that they can just type in all that information, and it's going to generate whether or not it's more costly to, fix the vehicle, or if it's more costly just to cut them a check and then have the individual go out and buy a new car. All right, so that concludes this video. Just like I said, I wanted to do a quick video on branded titles. If you like this video, give me a like. Also, drop me a comment and hit that like, comment, subscribe. And I want to thank you for tuning in. Until the next video, take care.